What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. And today, we're going to be going over several news clips that's happened over this past weekend, going into this week. And the first clip we're going to go over today is 3 Virginia students killed in a shooting at the University of Virginia. Now, obviously, when you pay attention to the news, the amount of murder, death, killing, the amount of things that's happening on a day-to-day basis is mind-blowing. I mean, on this channel, we like to read in between the lines and dig into the story and try to find out, basically play couch detective. But it's so many things happening to play detective on. It's becoming almost just unfathomable at this point. Just the amount of death on the daily. The amount of, it used to be if somebody, 12, 13, 14 people died at once, it was a hell of a story that lasted for weeks, months sometime. Now, it seems like it's just a daily occurrence. Now, this first case is a young man who was a University of Virginia football player turned a gun on his teammates and killed 3 teammates. Extremely odd. You would say, what would make a teammate turn on his teammates like that and kill 3 of them? First thing come to mind would be a girl. The second thing that would come to my mind, if I didn't have any evidence, would be hazing. Now, hazing has been a huge problem in college campuses, high school campuses, NFL, professional, where they would do strange and unusual things to people. Even people who join fraternities, the dog men, the Kappas, the alphas. And it always turns homosexual. To me, it always takes a turn for something a little weird, a little strange, and a lot of times gay. And if you are gay and that's what you're into, that's your business. But if you're a football player, basketball player, volleyball, whatever it is, and you hazing me, and it turns something that's completely out of bounds, that can make some people snap. Now, in this case, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's extremely odd. It rarely happens that a teammate will kill a teammate. And it's even more rare that a teammate will kill several teammates. Something happened. Let's see if we can get some inside information by watching this video. Let's take a look.
Tonight, a campus and community in shock.
5 patients with gunshot wounds.
After a shooting on campus left 3 University of Virginia football players dead and 2 other students injured, 1 critically. The college town on edge during the 12-hour search for the suspect. News of the arrest arriving in a dramatic moment during a press conference with university officials.
We just received information the suspect is in custody.
Authorities say Christopher Darnell Jones, a student and former member of the university's football team, opened fire on a bus filled with students who had just returned to campus after a class trip.
We heard some bangs.
Now, what can possibly happen to make a student, a football player, want to kill his teammates? Extremely rare and unusual for something like that to happen, especially on this scale. Now, one-on-one, a lot of things can happen. It can be a girl, it can be a fight, it can be somebody was harming me in a certain type of way that I just found too disrespectful. You can kind of see it, but even at that, that's very rare. But to shoot 3 teammates, that's unbelievable. Something happened.
Yeah, and then police came almost immediately.
He then fled the scene. The campus locked down as officials warned students the suspect was still armed and a threat. The suspect, now charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder, was arrested without incident about 75 miles away from campus. The victims, all students, including Devin Chandler, a recent UVA transfer student from Wisconsin.
And let me say this. I'm not saying that any of these particular guys who got killed had something to do with the hazing or the possibility of hazing, because we don't know. I'm insinuating. I'm guessing. But I'm not saying any of these people had anything to do with this. But something happened, y'all. There's no doubt about that shit. And I'm leaning towards hazing.
Laval Davis Jr., remembered as a kind and happy person.
He was an incredibly sweet guy. He had the kindest heart, and his smile was always huge. And I know he was a really hard worker.
And Deshaun Perry, a linebacker, last on the field for the Cavaliers just days ago.
We saw Deshaun Perry play just on Saturday, and now he's gone.
Tonight.
And let me say this, RIP to them three brothers, all three of them young black men who died. And it's extremely unfortunate and sad to see that they, their life was snuffed out so early and didn't get the opportunity to go on and, see what they can become. I just want to put that out there.
An outpouring of support from fellow students and teammates who are at a loss for words.
It was three young, great men, on the way to become great.
Ryan, join me now. What more are we learning about the suspect's possible motives?
Well, Lester, investigators are trying to determine if there was some sort of an issue between the victims and the suspect in this case. Police do say that the alleged gunman was part of a campus investigation into hazing, and he was telling people that he had a gun. But police say that neither of those issues have anything to do with any specific threats.
Now, how in the fuck would he know that? How would the police know it has no? You haven't even did a full investigation. They hadn't even done a full investigation at this point. This is from 2 days ago. So to say that had nothing to do with it, if somebody's telling you, hey, they hazing, there's some hazing going on, and hey, I got a gun, I don't play that shit. That doesn't play into what happened. You don't find that, you don't see the coincidence or the correlation between the two. Let's listen to it one more time. Let's hear what he said one more time.
Well, Lester, investigators are trying to determine if there was some sort of an issue between the victims and the suspect in this case. Police do say that the alleged gunman was part of a campus investigation into hazing, and he was telling people that he had a gun. But police say that neither of those issues have anything to do with any specific threat.
I have to hear that one more time, because now if they had a on-campus investigation by the school into hazing, and then he says he has a gun, 3 students wind up dead, and there's no correlation between the two. If you don't get the fuck out of here, they must think you. They have to. The people, the media, they really think you're mentally challenged. Seriously, they have to think we're that dumb not to be able to put 2 and 2 together. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's why I say on the news, they'll tell you anything, man. That's bullshit. I think when this finally comes all the way out, there was some hazing going on 9 times out of 10. Is that a reason to kill three young men? Absolutely not. But everybody don't play that shit. Everybody take disrespect differently, man. And some people, if you resort to violence, they might ratchet it up, and they type of violence ain't your type of violence. You know what I mean? Shit. Your violence is a hit to eye. They type of violence is a bullet to the chest. We've seen it, shit happens. Unfortunate. Wish it didn't happen, but that's life, man. Hopefully, and like I said, there might not even been them 3 men, but obviously he targeted 3 people, and all 3 of them wind up dead. So I don't know. We'll get more information as this case is investigated. Now, most definitely, try to cover that a little more later on down the line. But let's take a look at this. Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. They had the cadets out there, y'all. They was running. And I never understood why they had them cadets running in the street. They do that around the nation. Sheriff's Department, Police Department, they run them through downtown and shit. Instead of running them on a track or on a field, they run them through the street. I never understood that shit. But nevertheless, I've made several videos about the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. What happened to these cadets is terrible. God bless them. God bless their family. But to me, the amount of corruption in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department with the Bandinos, they got gangs in the Sheriff's Department. The Bandinos, the executioners, and I can't think of the third one, but they have 3 different gangs in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. This is a fact. I covered the video. I wish I should have had it pulled up. But man, I went over that, and they had the court cases where other sheriffs was testifying against their own sheriff's department about how deep the corruption is. So to me, the whole aura, the whole energy around them, this is why negative things keep happening to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Let's take a look.
New details on the driver of that car. Sheriff's deputies at a home site in Diamond Bar to gather information. That's where Susan Hirosuna is live with more. Susan.
Yeah, just before 6 o'clock, deputies rolled up on this home in Diamond Bar. Now, photographer Joab Harris was told that he was allowed to shoot what happened next, but he was asked to turn off his camera light and hide behind the vehicle. Clearly, deputies were going to prepare for anything that should happen once they bang on the front door. A phalanx of sheriff's deputies approached this home in Diamond Bar. One deputy holds a portable battering ram.
Residents of 10 Fights, 9, Diamond Bar. Come on out.
With a rifle in a ready position, the door opens. 2 women are ordered out and ushered away from the house. Shortly thereafter, the light goes on in an upstairs bedroom. Another deputy approaches the home with her gun drawn, looking in with caution before entering. During the Fox 11 special...
And let me tell y'all this sheriff that you see in the middle, Villanueva, this is one of the most corrupt sheriffs in all of the United States. This is a fact. If you look up corruption in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, you'll have 100 different articles come up. You can watch court cases and videos. I've did several videos on these people. You can go into my catalog. This is one of the most corrupt sheriffs in all of the United States.
Report, Sheriff Alex Villanueva explained the police action as a joint effort with the CHP and DA's office.
So all 3 of them are working together trying to determine whether it was an accident or a deliberate act of some sort or some criminal culpability on this and that.
And as you can see, this man plowed into them people out there jogging. You know, like I said, no disrespect to those cadets, but those cadets are joining one of the most corrupt organizations in the United States as far as law enforcement. This sheriff's department is corrupt to the core, and it's unfortunate that they got mowed over. And prayers to them and their family. But I will say, whoever did this, when they investigate, it doesn't take long. You can look on these people's social media website, man, and get to the bottom of shit so quick. If he has a lot of anti-police shit, it is any of that shit, you can find out very quickly what a person's into by looking into his social media in today's age.
Once they have determined that, then they'll move forward with either an arrest or a release, and then it becomes a civil matter.
Deputies are joined by plainclothes detectives, and not long after, the women are returned to the home. Eventually, a large group of deputies enter the property and directed upstairs to the room presumed to be the drivers.
And that was the man who did it. That was a white Hispanic male, too, who did this.
And what they were looking for was unclear. No one was talking. Another group went door to door asking for security video. No neighbor wanted to go on camera, but suggested that they wanted to see when the 22-year-old arrived home and when he left early Wednesday. At the scene of the crash, CHP officers conducted field sobriety tests. Ultimately, a toxicology report may help.
It looked like they put a little whooping on him a little bit when they get drug him out that car. But he's lucky he didn't get killed. You know, I mean, if that was a Negro, he might have an eye hanging out, some teeth missing. They put a little whooping on him, but nothing compared to what he did. And if they find out he did that shit on purpose, they're going to make his life a living hell, Jack.
Explain why the SUV veered out of the lane and into the recruits.
Any sense on this?
But put it in the comment section if you agree. Why would you have these people running down the middle of the street? I don't understand that shit. Take them to a large track. Have them run on the beach. You in fucking Southern California. Have them run anywhere. They have all type of fucking military beaches and shit up and down Southern California where you can have a beach to yourself. To have them run in the middle of the street is extremely unsafe. A drunk driver, an old person, a mentally ill person, a person with bad intentions, anything.
Potential drugs or other influence?
Well, they drew blood. There would be a full toxicology report, but the initial breathalyzer was 0.0. They did field sobriety tests, and those he passed as well.
The neighbors that we talked to said that the residents of that home, they're a very fine family and that they've had...
I always notice when it be other races, it's a very, very fine family. You ain't inside that home. Shit, we don't know how fine that family is. We need to do a full investigation to see how fine. They might be a fine family, or they might be some goddamn evil demons in there. We don't know.
said that they are tremendous. Now, the 22-year-old is apparently a triplet with two sisters, and whether or not this becomes a criminal case or a civil case, that might be determined by those toxicology reports. I can also tell you that at no time do we see any of the deputies or investigators leave with any evidence bags or anything like that. Reporting live at Diamond Bar, I'm Susan Parisina, Fox 11 News.
But like I said before, y'all, unfortunate for those cadets, but listen to me. The energy and the aura and everything around the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is negative. I'm telling y'all, it's negative. Let's take a look at this, you guys. This is 4 old Idaho students murdered. Once again, kids being killed on college campuses. Strange. 4 Idaho college students murdered in crime of passion. Towns Island. Let's take a look.
Campus house. Authorities are calling it a crime of passion. Here's Stephen Fabian.
It's the chilling last photo of 4 University of Idaho students taken just hours before they were found murdered. They were identified as freshman Ethan Chapin, his girlfriend.
For them to call it, let me say this, it just dawned on me. For them to call it a crime of passion, I have to ask, was he having sex with all 3 of them? Well, if he was, somebody was jealous. Somebody wanted to kill his ass. He getting all ass. He greedy as hell. No, but crime of passion. Was he having sex with all 3 of them? Was he the man like that?
Zana Kernodle, Haley Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan. It's being called a crime of passion. The killer or killers used an edged weapon such as a knife, police just revealed. I spoke with Kaylee Gonzalez's sister, Olivia, who described the last night of the students' lives.
My sisters did everything right. They went out in the buddy system. They went out together. They Ubered out. They stopped and got food. They Ubered home. They let their dog out to go potty. And then they locked their house up. They did everything right. And this still happened. Only when
Social media videos show Kaylee as a fun-loving, vibrant young lady enjoying campus life with her sorority sisters inside the 6-bedroom off-campus house where the murders took place.
And in these college houses and that's off campus, even on campus, but especially off campus, you never know what kind of, young people, you add alcohol, little drugs here and there. I mean, there's some real freaky shit be going on. We know that. That don't mean you should be killed or murdered, obviously, but I'm saying college students. But I gotta ask, was this man having sex with all 3 of these people?
They were murdered between 3 and 4 a.m. Sunday.
Uh-oh, shout out to my cousin. My cousin Colin, the witching hour. You get killed at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the witching hour.
And their bodies were found later that morning. The medical examiner has reportedly ruled out a murder-suicide, but even with a killer still out there on the loose, authorities say there's no risk to the other students on campus, and that's...
You say what? White people, I swear to God, they get on the news and say anything. It's a killer on the loose. He just murdered 4 people. All went to the University of Idaho, and there's no work that you shouldn't have a worry in the world. Are you dumb? Do they think we dumb, stupid, or retarded? Come on now, you got to be. How could you even say that with a straight face? If they would have told me to report that, I said, but I'm not saying that. Let me hear this goddamn idiot again.
They ruled out a murder-suicide, but even with a killer still out there on the loose, authorities say there's no risk to the other students on campus, and that's all adding to the mystery of these tragic deaths.
Unbelievable. Fair use, using these videos for educational purposes only in a transformative way. Fair use. Because I don't know how Inside Edition is with their videos. Some people like TMZ, Inside Edition, they be a little funny with their videos.
University's 12,000 students are scared and leaving early for the Thanksgiving break. The family of Kaylee Gonzalez.
Even the people on campus said, because they said ain't nothing to worry about, everything's okay. People like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. You nuts? It's a serial killer on the loose. When you kill 4 people at once, hey man, you'll do anything.
Gonzalez pleaded with students in a statement. We urge you to refrain from spreading harmful rumors that aren't based in actuality. Misinformation is unfair to everyone involved.
You say what? They said spreading harmful rumors. So basically, if you say, hey, man, it's a killer on the loose. Hey, man, we got a serial killer in our midst. That's spreading misinformation? Are you nuts?
We're mad. We're really mad. We know that there is someone who is responsible for this. We know that there's someone who saw something, and no one's talking. We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that.
That sounds about as wacky as can be. But here's the update on the video. Let's take a look at this. This is 1:09.
Police say they have not identified a suspect or found a weapon in the slayings of 4 students in a house near the campus of the University of Idaho. While authorities still believe the attack was targeted, they are walking back a previous statement that there is no threat to the public.
He said he was walking back a statement. Oh, duh. Yeah, really? Like, motherfuckers that stupid. We walking back a statement. The public was like, what in the fuck are you talking about? You gotta be fucking kidding me talking about there's no threat and we got 4 dead students. Are you nuts?
The 4 roommates were stabbed with a knife. There was no sign of force.
Let me ask this too. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he must have stabbed them while they was asleep. I can see baby super drunk. Been drinking it, so I can see. Cause I was gonna say at first, how you stab 4 different people at once? But if it's that time of night, college students, alcohol, you quiet, yeah, shit can happen like that. I can see that. But goddamn.
Forced entry, and a door was found open by the first police officers to arrive in response to a 911 call. We are now learning there were 2 other roommates in the house at the time who were unharmed. Word of the slayings prompted many students.
Wait a damn minute. There was 2 other students in the house that was unharmed. Oh, man. Something's rotten in Denmark, y'all. Something stinks to high heaven. Something ain't right. Anytime it's some white people, they always slow to react. This should be hurting white people, too. When they slow to react to shit like this and giving people the benefit of the doubt, the killer probably is right upstairs. I don't know what happened. I was asleep. Oh, okay, going back to sleep. Boy, this motherfucker got a bloody motherfucking neck, a bloody t-shirt, a bloody beard, a knife behind his back. I was asleep. Boy, they ought to be ashamed. Them people they supposed to brought them in for questioning.
To leave campus early for Thanksgiving break.
I went to one of my classes this morning and there were 5 students in it total. And like most of my dorm is empty. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of people not knowing what to do to best keep themselves and their friends and family safe.
2 of the victims were at a party on campus while the other 2 were at a downtown bar prior to their deaths. All 4 arrived home around 1:45 a.m., the time police believe the killings occurred.
They sure are soft shoeing. I don't like it. Something's rotten in Denmark in that case, y'all. Something's rotten in a motherfucker. The killer ain't too far off. This killer was close. This killer knew everybody. Oh, they gonna find them. They gotta find them. Let's take a look at this. University of Kentucky student withdraws after video of being racist, I guess.
A white University of Kentucky student accused of physically assaulting a black student worker while repeatedly using racial slurs pleaded not guilty during an arraignment on Monday. Sophia Rosing was captured on cell phone video attacking that victim who was working the front desk of an on-campus residence. Now, the victim says she saw Rosing enter the building and appeared to be intoxicated.
I say, "Are you okay?" And she continues to look at me, and she starts calling me
She was drunk as a motherfucker. Look, when somebody calling you a nigga, either slap the shit out of them or move out the way. Don't be asking, what did I do to you? I hate when niggas do that. It's okay if you want to turn the other cheek. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't have to always, everything is not about violence or solving your problem with violence. But move out the way. Don't be asking no drunk white person, why are you calling me a nigger? What did I do wrong? I hate that shit. That shit makes me sick.
She bit me along my arm. She punched me in my...
Now, I wonder, is this a Negro? Because sometimes it be a lot of Africans and people from other Caribbeans and all these other niggas. They ain't us. We ain't the same. Because I'm going to tell you, you get the biting on a nigga. See, there's a difference between an African and a Negro. You get the biting and slapping on us, we going to beat the dog shit out your ass. Yeah, we going to make you pay for that shit. And if this is a Negro, I don't know who she was raised by. She must have been adopted because we don't play that shit.
And she
Hey, look at this. I can't believe... No, this ain't one of us. I would bet my bottom dollar she ain't a Negro. I could be wrong, y'all. I'm just completely theoretical. I'm completely guessing. This is all my theory. But this is an African or somebody from one of them other countries. She ain't from here. There's no way. Negroes, when they hear the N-word from a white person, they don't put their hand over their mouth like they cannot believe. Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here. Should have called her another nigga. If that's your goddamn, if that's what you gonna end up doing is just putting your hand over your mouth, like you watching an Alfred Hitchcock fucking movie. If you gonna do some goofball ass shit like that, she should have called her another nigga and slapped the shit out of her again. If that's all you gonna do.
Yeah, my stomach is red.
Y'all might think I'm rooting for the white girl in this case. If that's what your weak ass is gonna do, unless somebody bite you, kick you, call you a nigger, then you gonna ask them why, you get what you deserve.
She tried to run me over with a grocery cart that was in the lobby. This girl just continued.
And the bitch tried to hit her with a buggy cart. Oh man, she should have put her in a basket and rolled her black ass down the hill. This ain't one of us, y'all. I sure hate to tell you.
Was berating me not only with her words but with her hands.
Not only with her words but with her hands. That's what your ass get. You think I feel sorry for that motherfucker? Not at all. Dumbass, that boy. You should have slapped that motherfucker black. Yeah, she should have been black and purple by the time you get done. Let's take a look at this next clip. Kevin Spacey faces more sexual assault charges. Kevin Spacey has been a phenomenal actor in Hollywood for a long time, but he is one of the most sick, sexually perverse human beings in Hollywood. He's had so many sexual assault charges and cases and underage boys, and it just goes on and on. This is one sick individual. This is a demon in the flesh. And people talk about conspiracy theories and all that old shit in Hollywood. Now, in Hollywood, it's a bunch of sexual perversion, a bunch of pedophilia, a bunch of sexual assault going on, and a bunch of things that's ridiculous that these people are getting away with out of Hollywood. Let's take a look at Kevin Spacey's sick ass.
To the side. Actor Kevin Spacey will face 7 further sexual assault charges in Britain, the Crown Prosecution Service has said. They relate to incidents against one man between 2001 and 2004, it said on Wednesday. The new charges include one of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent and others of indecent and sexual assault. The 63-year-old Oscar winner was previously accused of 5 offences in Britain. 4 counts of sexual assault by touching and a charge of causing a person to engage in penetrative sexual activity without consent. His lawyer had said in June that Spacey had strenuously denied those allegations of sex offences. Spacey's defense...
And look, Kevin Spacey got so many different charges and allegations against him that obviously he's doing something. There's no doubt about that. Kevin Spacey is a sicko, man. This is a sociopath.
Lawyer in Britain, Patrick Gibbs, did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment.
Kevin Spacey is going straight to hell. You can book it. He's going straight to hell. There's no doubt about that. I'm at video. I'm at 30 minutes. I got one more video. I might cover the Artemis, the unmanned blast. They finally got that rocket out into space. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go with this one. World population expected to reach 8 billion. Let's take a look. See if we can find some clues and read in between the lines in this video. Let's take a look.
The global population is projected to hit 8 billion, according to a report by the United Nations Population Division.
And let me tell you this, the world's population is in complete decline. Complete decline. They always say, we don't have enough food. We're running out of space. All lies. We don't have enough water. God created water. It falls out the goddamn sky. These people are such liars. There's plenty of space on the planet. It's enough water. Listen to me, they're controlling it, so it's not enough space. They're buying all the farmland to tell you it's not enough food and grain. They controlling the weather, manipulating the weather. Yeah, they might be fucking up some of the weather patterns by seeding the clouds. I've covered those videos on cloud seeding from when they originally first started playing with the weather during the Vietnam War, called Operation Popeye. If you don't believe me, Google Operation Popeye. You'll see them people playing and manipulating the weather. But let's continue on.
India will surpass China and become the world's most populous country next year, according to the UN.
And India is full of scam artists. That's a scamming ass country at this point, buddy. God damn. They be scamming like them Nigerians. Shit. I think they just surpassed them Nigerians in scamming.
The global population has been growing at its slowest rate since the 1950s, falling under 1% in 2020.
See what I'm saying? These people are such liars.
According to the UN, it took 12 years for the global population to go from 7 billion to 8 billion.
And this is where, some people say, it's conspiracy theory. No, man, all this mass killing and mass death on a massive scale, abortions and 800,000 children going missing in the United States alone every year, millions of kids going missing every year, bomb explosion. We think all this shit is happenstance, accidents, or situational. No, all this shit is purposeful. All of it.
The latest projections by the UN say the global population may reach 8.5 billion in 2030 and 9.7 billion in 2050. Fertility is dipped in many countries, in some.
And listen, it says fertility has dipped in many countries, and some fertility under 2.1 births per woman, in the UN reported. And now notice when they showed that shit, they start showing dark-skinned motherfuckers. They start showing these Africans. They start showing black motherfuckers. They want you to put that. They want to put that out there. Look, when you edit up videos, you time it up perfectly. Now notice when they put fertility dipped. The first thing they showed was Africans. Now, who has the biggest fertility dip on the planet? It's white people. How do we know that? Now, these people fertility dip is through manipulation, through vaccines, through starvation, or playing with the people finances, stealing all their wealth, making sure they stay poor, creating civil wars. That's how their fertility rate is dipped. The white man's fertility has dipped through the workings of God. Everything you do comes back to you. Everything you do comes back to you. So yes, these people fertility has dipped, and so has the white man. I've said this in several videos. The average white man in the United States is 57 years old. The average person of color is between 27 and 28 years old. So yeah, there's a war. There's a war on birth rates. We can play all these games all you want to get these black women on TV. I have my body, my choice. Don't even know the real war. That's why it's hard to talk to some Negroes. I ain't gonna say all, but majority, there's a lot more black people coming into the knowledge, getting more understanding, being more open-minded, listening, trying to get some greater understanding and learning, and but there's too many Negroes who just think it's all about them. If I want to have a goddamn abortion, I can, not knowing you also have control over your body, not of who you choose to have sex with and not have sex with, whether you're on birth control or wear condoms. Or making a man wear a condom. They have female condoms. They all type of contraceptives. It ain't just about you just having sex all willy-nilly.
Fertility is under 2.1 births per woman, the UN reported. Over half of the projected population growth up to 2050 will happen in 8 countries.
And I wonder why they didn't name those 8 countries. But you can always do your own research and look that up and get to the bottom of it. But like I said before, y'all, those birth rates and birth numbers are manipulated on one side, and on the other side, it's God's work. It really is, man. But this has been another great day of news and videos. I think I'm going to cover a little more sports here coming up soon. But you know what I know? I don't really like to cover sports like the games. And I don't really know. All that shit's so manipulated at this point. They done took all the fun out of sports. Like actually watching it. It ain't like it used to be. You know what I mean? It's just all 3-point shooting in basketball. Football, you barely can touch anybody anymore. So, I mean, I just like to cover the sensational part of sports. I guess what you would call the celebrity part of sports. I like to cover that more than the rest of this shit. Like Kyrie Irving being kicked out and all that. I like to cover that more than I like covering the actual games. Because all they do is shoot threes. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on one hell of a population control ride. Peace.